Hi, Sreedevi.
Hi.
Thank you for helping with my project. Could you
You're welcome.
say a little bit about yourself?
What do you want to say?
Well,
Well, I'm
you're
a
a math teacher.
math teacher in high school.
Hmm.
I teach pre-calculus and calculus. What else?
How about some hobbies? You go bike riding,
Hobbies? Yeah, I go bike riding, walking. I love to cook.
and we love to eat your cooking.
Yeah,
It's a great friendship.
yeah, that's true. And what else?
What's your favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show? Let me see. I don't know I haven't watched many in the last few couple months, but before that, what was my favorite one? I can't really tell. I don't know. I think I can just say what was. I can't remember. I can't remember. I will watch anything that comes on TV. Let's put it that way. There's nothing favorite. I can't think of names. You want to throw a few on my?
Oh, I don't know of any
me?
TV shows either. I was looking for some suggestions.
Okay. But I do sit and watch in front of TV, and I was just wondering what This Is Us. I used to watch that. There are some. Oh, anything that has family. I like Blue Bloods.
Blue Bloods, yes, we
Okay.
like Blue Bloods too.
Okay.
And I think This
How could
Is
I- yeah.
Us.
This
Isn't that
Is
the
Us
one-
is okay. Yeah, I have watched.
Like the
last
guy's an
se-
actor?
Yeah, now and then. There's all. It's mixed.
Yeah,
it's
and he has a
family
sister,
where-
and
yeah, a
and,
brother.
and one of his adopted brothers is
Yes.
like the mayor,
Yes, that's right.
our
That's
city
right.
manager or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nice. I mean, I watch anything, but I think I really like Blue Bloods if I can watch it because I just like the dynamics of it.
And
How they get together as a family.
Oh, yeah, the
and
dinner
everyone
table.
in different areas are coming together.
and it
It's
just
nice.
seems so
And
orderly.
generations,
A generation.
and
Yeah.
it's a little traditional.
It's like what, 3 generations? The grandfather,
Grandfather, father,
dad,
son. No, 4 generations
son.
with
Oh,
the
and then
kids.
the kids.
Kids too.
Yeah.
So
And pretty soon it might be 5.
really,
I don't
haven't
know.
Watched it.
Maybe if
Recently.
the daughter gets married,
Yeah,
she's in
probably.
college.
Yeah, right.
Give it 5 more seasons.
But it's a nice one. I basically like anything that is around the family and the extended family together. Like, there used to be a episode a long time ago, Brothers and Sisters. That was my,
Brothers and sisters.
I
Like
think
it was
it was-
called Brothers and Sisters?
I think so.
Okay.
I think it was a family with each one in different field, and they all come together to this house, their parents' house, and it's nice to see them all come together, care for each other, pitch in for each other when there's a need.
Right, community.
Yeah, but then each one is independent in their own ways,
They have
different.
their own quirks.
Yeah, exactly. But they're supportive at the same time. They're not all that nice. It's realistic, as in.
They're
How-
supportive but individual. They
Yes.
don't feel the
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
agree on everything.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, what else? Yeah,
Do you watch the news?
I do watch news. Usually, I used to keep a time and watch the evening news and morning catch a little when my dad was there. He used to turn it on, but not lately. But I did turn on in the last week, I guess, a bit.
What's the last bit of space news that you remember?
Oh, it was about something to do with Mars landing. Maybe was it today? A couple of days. I remember it was just this week or
I think
last
Thursday.
weekend. Yeah, something to do with the Mars.
A rover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rover landing. I didn't catch the whole thing. Like I said, I didn't sit down to just listen to the news. It's passing by. Then I get into conversations, so it's not completely there. But it caught my ear a little bit. Yes.
It's always funny whenever you catch a little bit of different news articles and you put them
Yeah.
together as one article.
Make up your own story,
Story.
about it. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, something to do with Mars. Did show that thing landing on the Mars. This happened way back, so it's nothing new. So I don't know. There was something with regards to it, something new,
Well, a
which
new,
I lost. I missed that part of it.
yeah, a new rover landed on Mars just last
Okay,
Thursday.
so it was a new rover that
Yeah.
landed on Mars.
And this one has a little helicopter that's going to actually attempt to fly on Mars. It's like just a little bitty drone.
Oh,
So it'll be the first time to actually have
goes
a
around.
powered flight on a different world. So
cool.
could be
Did
kinda
it
neat.
take some bugs with it? Live bugs?
I know. No, they do a lot to try to make sure it doesn't bring any microbes or anything that could spoil.
Oh, the atmosphere there.
Yeah, because one of the things they're looking for is evidence of life, and so the
Okay,
thought is that
so
they
they don't
brought
want to take some there and start something new.
exactly. So
I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
well, did you know NASA is planning to send people to the moon in 2024?
2024. You know, the first person landed on the moon the year I was born, a month.
Oh,
This
really?
way, that way, yes.
July 20th, 1969
I
was
born June.
June 1969.
So,
Wow.
well, and I'm not young, so I'm a little skeptical about 2024, but good luck.
But what do you think about it? You think good, bad time? Should have done it
mean, it's-
earlier.
The whole point, I don't know. There's a lot of good that came out of the space exploration or research and all that that contributed to our lives here itself. And so, from that perspective, yeah, it's good. But then, on the contrary, also the expense it involves, sometimes it makes you think.
Right.
Is it worth it? Can we use it in some other more required areas? It's a trade-off. I mean, for that matter, I guess. I mean, there are people that can question. There is one that can't afford to go to school, and then there is one that's paying like is exorbitant amount to just get a degree and probably never even use it. So, how do you? I mean, I guess that's personal choice.
Yeah. a lot
Right,
of-
you can equate. This is not socialistic. What do you say? Approach or perspective. So, I would say, yeah, it's good. I mean, I guess at some point, having done an engineering degree and being in research, I do like what they do. I think we need more of that. So,
Yeah, you kind of reminded me of a joke. Like the most important decision in life is choosing your parents, which you get no
Right.
choice about.
well, well, that's what you think. Not according to the Hindu principles.
Oh, really? Okay. Tell me more.
Because we believe in rebirth, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's based on your karma that you come into this world as another life. And the karma is what tailors you to choose. I mean, apparently the soul chooses, has a choice, a little bit of choice, not a whole lot. Not it can't go and opt for Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk to be the parent. Definitely not. But it has some choice based on where it has reached with its karma, the account that it has, the currency it has. It can pick and choose maybe the best possible place that it thinks it can do well. So there's a little bit of choice. So that is what is believed, at least in some principles. So we do choose our parents, is what it is said. So in a way, it's not like in a way. I mean, you're given a little bit of choice, but that's the food on your plate. Okay, you only have so many, so you can still choose, but you will have pancakes, waffles, and
You have a menu.
muffins. Yeah,
Yeah, you
probably
can-
everything is wheat and sweet, but those are the choices you have.
But is there a risk that that means that there's no need to like help other people because obviously they're living the life that they deserve from their previous life?
Not really. It's not that you get a life based on your own actions from the previous lives. And you also are given intellect to make a choice. It's not, nothing is destined. If you're talking about destiny, there's no destiny. So you have a choice to go ahead and use your intellect and tailor it the way you want. You can totally take it downwards or totally take it upwards. It's up to you. As in, bottom line, I don't think you have to believe. The whole point is you don't have to believe in any religion as long as you're doing the right thing. You're being good. You live a very simple life. You don't harbor any of the negative feelings or ideas, thoughts, words, or actions. I guess you're fine. I mean, that's the bottom line of karma, right?
Yeah,
You're not.
it just occurred to me that the balancing force
Yeah.
is a realization that those you don't help, you might be living their life next time around.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so,
Right. So, oh, you asked me that way. I mean, if you have to help someone to receive help, yeah.
yeah,
I
I
guess.
was like also thinking, it's very easy to say, oh, look at those people over there that are suffering or going hungry or something. They must have done something really bad in their life.
Oh no, no,
You
no,
know,
no, no,
so
no. Not necessary, I guess. Um, I don't know. It is not directly eye for an eye kind of a philosophy, so you can't say that. Uh, it's a little different and much more intricate, I guess, than that. So all I'm saying is, just because somebody kills someone knowingly or unknowingly, now once again that gets into the levels of the bad deed that you have done. You may do it intentionally, unintentionally, or a part of your profession. You are in the war, you kill a person,
right.
and that was a part of the requirement. But still, if there was a harm done intentionally, unintentionally, it earns different levels of deeds, bad or good, you know. And that does not mean in this life you will be killed by somebody, not necessary. So if you are inherently a nice person and that was a part of the job that you did unintentionally, then you still have to pay up by the principle of karma. But then you will pay up in a different form. It doesn't have to be that. And they say by prayers or by doing the good acts, charity, or helping people, and you want to change this life, you're trying to be good, then that would get, it's like adding a cushion or a bumper. The effect of that will be spread out with lesser consequence than it being a powerful impact on this life. So all I'm saying is the ones that are suffering, I guess based on the karma, they did have to go through it for some reason, knowing or unknowing. They're burning away their bad deeds, but not directly related to exact same thing in the past. Doesn't have to be the exact same thing.
But I guess I was saying that to not help somebody that's in need or suffering would actually cause us to
Yeah,
be in
that
a
is
bad
true.
spot.
I mean, if somebody reaches out and you're not, you're being, I mean, that is harsh, I guess.
Yes, it is harsh.
It is harsh.
It is harsh. But at the same token,
So-
it's a difficult thing. You don't want to enable.
Yeah.
There's a difference between helping people and kind of enable them or encouraging them to continuously to be
Yeah.
helpless.
Yeah, I guess going along with that, it says the truly, what is that, idealistic way is to be constantly working selflessly, like doing acts, and that's almost impossible. And this is the discussion we have. I mean, if you're totally selfless and you totally want to serve people, then what happens to then you will not have goals like, oh, I want to accomplish this, I want to become the CEO of this company. I mean, you obviously, unless you're selfish, you can't have those goals. I mean,
Well, it
it's
depends on why you
kinda-
want it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
do you want to become CEO because you want to have a nice life and comfortable, or do you want to become CEO because you think you can create a better work environment and a better product
For
and
more
services
people.
and for more people? You know,
But I feel, yeah, true. Everybody starts out saying they started for the good, but I feel the way the world is, it's hard for a business to succeed without being a little bit of evil or
You,
overlooking.
what do you think about this statement? Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
True. That I guess that's a true statement. So all I'm saying is you can't become a businessman if you have too many of these ideals.
Yeah.
I guess you'll be ending up doing this, being a high school teacher.
Are interviewing people every day about going to the moon?
Yes. Instead of, yes, running some businesses and being more powerful. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's a challenge. But I think a lot about the first time that we went to the moon, and all the spin-offs we had, and all of that. And the thing that really strikes me as being kind of different between then and now is we were doing it for the first time, and we've trained so many engineers and scientists. And then after the Apollo program got shut down, those engineers and scientists went out into the private sector and created all these companies and stuff. But now, if you look at the technology we're using, like if you go to the Johnson Space Center and you look at mission control, those computers are 10, 15 years old.
Yeah.
It's not cutting edge technology. It's not even current state, and it's hard to see where the technological development's going to come from
Funding, I
with that
guess.
system.
Yeah,
Yeah.
funding, and I don't think people are going I don't know. The private companies are probably tapping into these true resources or people, maybe intellects.
Yeah.
And I guess because I think young minds are restless too. They want quick returns. I think there's less of loyalty, those kind of things now. More of like, let's get the job done. Little more impersonal way of approach to working. So with the private companies, and I think outcomes, people are not, probably the kids are not thinking even long term, like how I want to retire at 30s while we are not retired at, I'm not retired at 50. So it's a different generation.
Yeah, they're like, I'll graduate by the time I'm 22, I'll work for 3 years, and then I'll retire at 25.
Have a startup or do something, or,
Yeah.
Yeah, so the outlook has changed, the way, the dynamics of the companies, or, I don't know, the whole job force, technology, things are changing. They're in such flux, you can't really, it is not like the time I entered Bell Labs and people thought they enter Bell Labs, they retire in it.
Oh, did you work at Bell Labs?
Yeah, that's where I started. In North Andover.
Oh, wow.
Way back when I joined. And that's what we thought. But 96, loosened, the AT&T split up into those 3 different companies. And, from there on, this technology thing started with Cisco, startups, buying out. All
Exactly.
this. Yeah, so the culture kind of changed. Prior to that, I guess anybody would thought, like, whoever comes into organizations like that would retire in it. Why would you think of anything else? I mean, that wasn't the way things were working out. I mean, there was a drastic change. But
It's just amazing, like Bell Labs invented the mouse and the GUI and, so many different things.
yeah. Well, it's a long, long time ago, very long time ago. I forgot about it all.
Well, what did you do at Bell Labs?
I was a chip designer.
Oh, really? Wow.
I have my master's in engineering, electronics, VLSI design.
And how long did you do VLSI design?
Total of 8 years.
So like
I was at
A6
for
or?
6 of the 8 years, and after 6 years, I also went for a startup.
That's really
Worked for-
exciting.
worked for 2 years, and then the startup kind of went under, and it was time for me to move, because then my ex-husband was starting his practice somewhere else, and I decided I will not work as an engineer, stay home, do those kind of things. So yeah, things took a turn, and then I went into the teaching.
Wow. And where did you start teaching?
Atlanta?
In Atlanta.
Yeah, it is 17 years this year. It'll be 17.
Wow.
A long time. Yeah.
That's exciting. Do you talk to your students about your chip design?
No, that's wiped out.
Wiped out.
I don't have recollection. It was a good times. It was nice. I did well too. I can't imagine someone doing well and then deciding, and it's completely out. I didn't pursue that.
Wow.
I think things took a turn in a way that I landed somewhere, and I just decided this is my life.
That's really amazing, though.
It's not amazing. It's sad.
Oh.
No, it's okay. It's amazing, actually. I don't regret it that much, because I was able to do things that I probably couldn't have been able to do if I continued working in that job. Couldn't have been that single mom that I was to my son. So spending all the time in the holidays and the, weekends, and no, you can't have that. So
Wow.
it's straight up.
So, about 500 years ago, Christopher Columbus sailed from Europe to North America.
Okay.
And that began a period of prolonged and intense, migration of people from Europe into North America. And that ultimately led into what we see here, New York City and
everything.
Houston, Texas, and, what have you. So a lot of it has changed in North America in 500 years.
Yeah.
So if we project forward 500 years, where do you think humanity will be? Specifically, do you think we'll be stuck on the Earth, just making these little trips to
500
places?
years?
Or do you think we'll actually have people that live their entire life off of Earth? Like on the moon or Mars or
scary.
moons
500
of Jupiter?
years. Okay, yeah. We might be something like Star Wars? Maybe. Hopping from planet to planet?
Instead of Star Trek.
Star Trek. Okay. Star Trek was completely a mission in the outer space, right?
Yeah.
Star Wars, isn't it like hopping and coming back and back and forth?
They both are like kind of space dramas with like faster than light travel.
Right.
But
I think I prefer the Star Wars.
with Vader and the bad guys and the good guys.
Exactly, and Yoda.
And
Don't forget Yoda.
You need Yoda. Wise
Yes.
people.
Yes, wise people. How he could control even the most difficult
With his
issues
mind.
through his mind. Yes, and yes.
And actually, Elon Musk has a company called Neuralink that's working on actually creating electrodes that can be planted in your brain that could allow for like paraplegics to actually control a computer and have that sense of touch, but later on be developed to actually allow for you to have direct computer interface with your mind. And so, all of us might be Yoda at some point.
At some point.
You see the garage door, you just go.
That's nice. Yes.
But people are even talking about it could create telepathy, because you could have visualize something in your mind. The electrodes could understand kind of like what you visualize, transmit it to somebody else, which then could stimulate their brain so that you could actually see what what's in the mind.
Yeah, that's nice, because I think that could help patients in coma. Probably, right?
I know you're like, man, these people are way too active.
Too active even in coma.
I know.
Thinking all these things.
Exactly, all this imagination and what have you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, something like that. On the contrary, I mean, the reason I said Star Wars is all those characters, weird looking ones. And I'm thinking with all this polluted or the food, the genetically modified food, eating all these things, I don't know what we will look like
We may
in
be
500 years.
completely
Probably.
different.
Yeah.
6 arms,
Yeah, 6 hours. Exactly.
which is very handy.
You don't know that.
Well, I
They
mean,
can't move
but
against each other.
it's 3 times the hands that you have.
3
so.
times the hand, but their mobility is restricted. So what's the point?
But
You know, it's like you haven't seen the cartoon where this guy who does the bodybuilding, he can't swat the fly
oh,
on
the fly,
on the back because the muscle
the muscle
comes
gets in the way.
And the
I haven't
skinny
seen this,
guys-
but that's hilarious.
Okay, yeah, it is hilarious. It's a little cartoon, the Giphy. So, if I can find it, I'll show you. So, not necessarily 6 arms is great because you want to be flexible, agile. I think Elastigirl would be the
Right, it's not
Right.
just strength; it's
Yeah.
also flexibility, speed,
flexibilities,
control.
yeah, all those.
It's a whole set of characteristics, not just one.
Yeah, I mean, having one should not override the others that you already have. The other faculties have to remain intact with the new one. The new one shouldn't out. What do you say?
Your strength shouldn't become your weakness.
Yes, exactly. So 6 arms, yes, as long as they're the same 2 arms with more more in number.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you lose coordination, like if you have 6 arms with half the coordination, then you won't be able to
Yeah.
do anything.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So maybe arms or the palms that can change to climbing walls vertically.
Oh yes, the little suction cups.
Adaptations.
Like yeah,
Yeah. Or the Spider-Man.
or maybe we just
to
become
jump
smaller.
across. Yeah.
Then we could go more places too. Or you could fit like 1,000,000 spiders in like a spacecraft, but only like a few dozen humans. So
Yeah. Right.
yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, well,
Well, if it was safe and affordable, would you go to space?
safe and affordable. What is affordable?
Well, you tell me. Like a year's salary, half a year's salary,
That's not affordable.
a quarter of a year's salary.
That's still a luxury.
But nobody said that luxuries couldn't be affordable.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, it depends. I think by the time they come up with it, I'll be old and not so motivated.
So you don't think you'll have to make a choice? Like,
I don't think.
should I go to Mars? You're
No,
like,
definitely. I don't think that will happen in my lifetime. Not in the next 10 years. You know, something affordable, as you said.
but do you remember the 1990s? Like, can you imagine in 1990 going to the average person on the street and explaining to them what email was? I mean, how difficult that conversation would
Yeah,
be.
that's true.
And then by like 2000, everybody had email addresses.
Email was 1992 or 1990?
Well, I think the
When did it
universities.
start?
I think the universities had it for a long time. with like ARPANET, and
But they just celebrated, wasn't it? I thought I saw 1990, 92? Email
know-
or WW?
I know
Which one was
'94. The Mozilla, the Netscape web browser came out,
Oh, okay.
and then I think Amazon was also founded that year, or like 2 years later, '96 maybe.
Yeah.
And and then you had like PayPal and lots of other things. It's
Yeah.
just it was
But lots of changes since 90s, right? I mean, something that unimaginable.
yeah.
So there is always what do you say, an acceleration, a little spike, and then slows down, and then again, you never know
I
what
know
drastic changes come through.
like home appliances, like washers and dryers have not advanced.
Yeah.
And we're still taking the clothes out of the washer and putting them in the dryer. That
Yeah.
should have been taken care of a long time ago.
Oh, you want some kind of a chute. Well, they could get stuck in the chute.
It's all engineering.
Well, not yet. There. Yeah, right.
Everything's engineering.
You want some robot to wake you up from the bed toss
No,
you
I want
into
a
the
robot to keep other people from waking me up in the bed. And I think you got
toss you into the bathroom, brush your teeth, clothe you, feed you, take you into the car,
yeah.
drive you to wherever you have to be. I don't know.
No, I think the fun is creating the robot. You know, it's like having the option. You know, being able to kind of.
Oh yeah, for some reason we were just talking in the evening how we talk about giving your 200% of yourself.
Yes.
And we were saying the only way you can think of truly doing that is have a clone of you
Yeah.
do the same work. And that's the only way you can get beyond.
But you might need like 3 or 4.
Three
You
or
know,
4, 300%.
because I'm not sure we all give 100%. So you know, maybe we're all giving 70. So 200% is
Even
like
if
3
it's-
people.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, in 500 years, I think it's possible for all that.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. I don't know how far these are realistic, but we already have robots doing lots of things, chores in the house. So.
But it's amazing if you look at 1900s and think about realistic and look at today's world. Mind blowing.
Yeah, that's true. We made
know.
a lot of advancement in the last few decades, too.
I mean, even whenever you were a chip designer, could you imagine the iPhone?
No. No. Actually, even in 1998, when the cell phones came out, those flip phones, I refused to own one until my friend had to buy and gift it and shove it on.
Did you have a beeper?
I didn't have a beeper. No, those were mostly the software ones, the engineers that got them to be on call. Network maintenance.
Sure.
And all that. No beepers for chip designers. There was nothing drastic for us to be
You're
work
like,
about.
oh my
It
gosh.
was more like research work, kind of building routers, looking at data traffic, those kind of things. So there was no time crunch. There is, because the startups came and took away the market, and when the big companies got shook up.
Yeah.
So the
Oh,
time
but-
was critical.
I mean, but they were inventing this great technology, but not actually bringing it to market. And they were making all their money through the legacy technology.
Yes, yeah, right. And that took a turn around that time.
Yeah.
Things changed.
Things changed.
Yes.
Well,
So you never know what COVID has changed.
oh,
things
no
too.
kidding. Completely accelerated the digital transformation. I actually
Yeah.
went to an online doctor for the first time
Oh,
through this
okay.
COVID thing. And
Yeah.
now, I mean, it took me less time to find out about it, sign up, see the doctor, and be done with it than it would have taken me to actually get to the doctor's office.
Yeah. But how much can they get through? They can do a few. You have to get there to get the blood test, urine test.
That's true.
Yeah, so.
But, you know, they could order that like a Quest Diagnostics or someplace, and then
Probably.
you can...
Yeah, you can get the samples at home.
Oh my gosh, can you just see drawing your own blood?
Possible. The ones that poke their finger for the glucometer,
Yeah,
glucose check.
as long as you don't need a whole tube.
You need a whole tube, so it's okay. Fine needle, you will not even feel the pain.
My goodness.
Push the button, it'll do the siphoning.
My goodness. You're like, stop.
Sorry, it got stuck. Keep drawing the blood.
We need another tube.
Overflow.
We need 10 tubes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, we'll be there.
I think so. Well, I really appreciate your time.
Thanks.
Thank you.